Welcome to InstantGMP. The staff at InstantGMP prepared the GMP compliance series of presentations to focus on good manufacturing practices and GMP compliance for FDA-regulated products. These are brought to you by our quality and manufacturing experts in the hope that it will help you avoid any GMP compliance issues in your shop. This presentation will address the GMP procedures for complaints and recalls. The identification of the key issues in product complaints is a tool for overall quality improvement. The primary principle is that the manufacturer must assume responsibility for the quality of their products to ensure that they are fit for their intended use. Complaints must be handled quickly and positively, and after careful review, some corrective actions must be taken as necessary. This can mean amending a manufacturing process, or it could mean as much as implementing a recall of a defective product from all markets where it has been distributed. Failures to address customer complaints or to implement corrective actions have resulted in FDA citations and warning letters. The first step is to have a written procedure for handling complaints. It should describe the actions to be taken and the management reviews that are needed. The complaint should be acknowledged and a response provided to the customer. The procedure should include the process for considering a product recall in case there is a product defect. The basic requirements for a complaint procedure include having a designated person who has the authority to conduct complaint reviews in accordance with the SOPs. The designated person must have sufficient staff to be able to review all the complaints quickly and effectively. They must be able to access all the relevant records about the product. That person may be the authorized quality person in the organization. If not, then the quality person must be kept informed of all complaints being investigated. The investigation should be thorough and fully recorded, and reflect all the details of the investigation in the records. Special attention must be given to determine whether counterfeiting may be the cause. If a product defect is suspected, the company should consider checking other batches and possibly batches that contain reprocessed product. Each company must maintain records and accurate information on the quantity and batch number of any product it distributes to wholesalers or direct customers. The information should include the names, addresses, and telephone numbers of all customers. These distribution records are essential to the success of any recall. This includes clinical tests and medical samples. Once the investigation and the evaluation is completed, there should be follow-up actions taken, which may include a recall of the product or a batch. All decisions and measures taken should be recorded. The complaint should be referenced in batch records, which can help identify trends during annual product reviews. Trends and recurring problems should be identified and action taken to prevent recurrence of the problems or cause. This is where the true value of a good complaint handling procedure comes in. It may be that the particular formulation or particular machine is the root cause for the complaint, and the trend analysis process can point this out. During complaints, and especially in recall situations, it is important to clearly define the magnitude of the problem. A system of classification defined by the company will be helpful. Here is one example: critical defects, major defects, or other defects. Critical defects are the ones that can be life-threatening and require immediate action as the defect becomes apparent. In this case, wholesalers must be alerted and actions taken to start recalling the product throughout the distribution chain. Examples of critical defects are product labeled with incorrect name, counterfeit or deliberately tampered with product, microbiological contamination of a sterile product. Major defects are those that may put the consumer at some risk but are not life-threatening. They will require the recall of the batch or product withdrawal within a few days. Examples of major defects are any labeling or leaflet misinformation which represents a significant hazard to the patient, microbial contamination of non-sterile products with some risks, non-compliance to specifications. Other defects are those defects which present only a minor risk to the patient. Examples of such a defect are readily visible isolated packaging/closure faults, contamination which may cause spoilage or dirt and where there is a minimal risk to the patient. It is important that complaints that result in potential recall situations are properly categorized. Then the company can initiate recalls with the correct level of urgency and not unduly alarm patients or the public. A recall situation could result from information entering a company in various ways. Customer complaints. These may be so serious as to initiate a recall. An example could be the evidence of a lack of sterility. GMP deviations, results of a failure investigation, requests by the regulatory authorities, results of an inspection, known counterfeiting or tampering, and adverse reaction reported. Complaints are the first indication that a product may be defective or harmful. Manufacturers are responsible for making sure their products do not place the consumer at risk because of inadequate safety, quality, or efficacy. Critical defects can be life-threatening and require immediate action as soon as the defects become apparent. Major defects are those that may put the consumer at some risk but are not life-threatening. They will require the recall of the batch or product withdrawal within a few days. Recalls must be handled positively and carefully reviewed to be effective in removing defective product from everywhere where it has been distributed. The InstantGMP quality management system provides logs and guided workflows that make it easy to keep in compliance. InstantGMP has a complete set of quality management modules that handles all aspects of the quality system. Companies can record deviations, CAPAs, complaints, and incidents in one software for ease of completion and tracking. Complaints are the first indication that a product may be defective or harmful. Manufacturers are responsible for making sure their products do not place the consumer at risk because of inadequate safety, quality, or efficacy. Critical defects can be life-threatening and require immediate action as soon as the defect becomes apparent. Major defects are those that may put the consumer at some risk but are not life-threatening. Recalls must be handled positively and carefully reviewed to be effective in removing defective product from everywhere where it has been distributed. This presentation is just one of the many videos and webinars available on CGMP compliance. You can access the rest at the GMP Certification Resource Center. Thank you and have a wonderful day.